So, paying taxes as an entrepreneur can feel like walking through a maze blindfolded. And if you get the step wrong, the IRS can charge you a penalty for every month that you're late. So, in this episode, I'm breaking down exactly how to pay your taxes the right way, including the payment methods available to you personally, what those estimated tax bills actually are, and when you're required to use EFTPS, and the big changes the IRS are rolling out, and exactly how they're about to affect you. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly which payment method fits your situation, how to stay ahead of the estimated taxes, and what's coming so you're not caught off guard. If you appreciate this type of content, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your biggest tax headache. I read every single one of them. Let's get into it. All right. So first off, how do you actually pay your personal taxes? So not your business taxes, your personal taxes right now. I'd say the easiest option for most people is IRS Direct Pay. It's free, there's no enrollment, and you pay straight from your checking or savings account. You get instant confirmation the same day, and you can also use it for balance due, an extension payment, or your estimated taxes. You can even schedule up to 30 days ahead of time so you're not scrambling at the deadline. Next to that, there's the IRS Online Account, which works more like a dashboard. You can see your balances, your notices, your payment history, and pay directly from your linked bank account. And if you want to use a credit card or a debit card, you can still through the IRS approved payment processor. They charge a convenience fee for that, so it's the most expensive way to pay. Now there's something a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize, EFTPS, which if you already had an account before then, it still works for now, but the IRS is phasing it out completely for individuals by late this year. So going forward, Direct Pay really is the tool built for you as an individual taxpayer, and then EFTPS is the tool that's built for you as a business owner. Used to be an option for individuals too, closed new individual enrollments back in October of 2025. So to access IRS Direct Pay, you could literally go into any search engine and just type in the box here, IRS Direct Pay. And you can just click on the first link here, Direct Pay with bank account internal revenue service. And you'll see here you have a handful of options. And we have business tax payments, we have individual tax or personal tax payments. Let's say you have a sole proprietorship and you want to pay the personal tax due that you know is being generated. You can click into there, and then you can read this stuff if you want to learn about married filing jointly versus single. If you never filed taxes or it's been 6 years since you filed, you could read this. Or you can just go pay personal taxes and click on make a payment. And then it will give you the option to go through these apply payment to, let's say you want to make this a payment towards your income taxes. You could select the reason for, which is just maybe estimated tax payments. And there's any one of these, could be relevant for you. We'll click estimated taxes and then we'll select the current year. So let's say 2026 and then click continue. And we'll confirm that this is correct. And then it will ask you to verify your identity so that they know they're paying or applying the funds to the correct account, because we don't want to get that mixed up. I won't go through the entire identity verification process because it's fairly straightforward, but you kind of get the gist there. And so that is essentially IRS Direct Pay in a nutshell. You can do it for your business or for you individually. Now, if you are running payroll, you are required to sign up for EFTPS. And that looks a little something like this. And so a lot of times, if you've used like a payroll provider, they will require you to have like EFTPS accounts set up. And so like, say you're using QuickBooks Payroll, there's a good chance that Intuit's going to reach out to you and make sure you have that information set up, or at least you're enrolled. And then if you do need to enroll, you can go to the EFTPS.gov/EFTPS and then hit enroll, and then just go through those steps here. Click accept, usually business, and then you'll enter in all the business information and just go through the prompts as they prompt you. and then you're good to go. You'll hit enroll, and then they'll send you a letter in the mail with a like confirmation code, and you'll be off to the races. So that is the EFTPS enrollment in a nutshell. All right, next up, let's talk about estimated tax bills because this trips up more entrepreneurs than almost anything else. If you're self employed or you run a business and nobody's withholding taxes from your paycheck like you would with a W 2 work or W 2 job, the IRS expects you to pay as you go in 4 chunks throughout the entire year. So those payments are typically due April 15th, June 15th, September 15th, and January 15th of the following year. Now, how much should you pay? The safe harbor rules says if you pay at least 90% of what you owe this year, or 100% if you owed last year, 110% if your income is over 150,000. So if you're like a higher income earner, you could just expect that the safe harbor is 110% of your prior year's tax liability. Those would meet the safe harbor requirement, so you're protected from any underpayment penalties, assuming any payments due are paid on April 15th. So it's not like you can file an extension and pay in October and think that there's going to be no penalties applied. Now, the penalty that can accumulate if you do have an underpayment can be very substantial. So that's why the safe harbor is so important to understand. So again, if you make under 150,000, then you're looking at a safe harbor of either 90% of your current year tax liability or 100% of last year's tax liability. So you can meet either one of those, or if you're over 150,000, you're looking at 110% of last year's tax liability or 90% of this year's tax liability. But that penalty is not a small thing. It's calculated just like interest, so it's tied to the federal short-term rate, and it recalculates every quarter. So a balance you let ride can grow and compound pretty quickly. And so that's something that you want to be at least be aware of and have a plan in place to be able to address it. So that is why estimated taxes are so important, and some tips on how to actually understand what your tax obligations are and when they're due. Now, I wanted to circle back on EFTPS and when it's actually required, because there's been some confusion on that. If you run a business with employees, EFTPS is not optional. Every federal payroll tax, your federal income tax withholding, Social Security, Medicare, and FUTA, which is the unemployment tax, has to be deposited through EFTPS, so there is no more like mailing in a paper coupon. Depending on your look back period, you'll deposit either monthly or semi-weekly. The one thing that catches business owners off guard is the enrollment timeline. Once you sign up, the IRS mails you a PIN, and that takes about 5 to 7 business days, sometimes longer, during filing season from January through April. So if you wait until a deposit deadline is staring you down to enroll, you can genuinely miss it and will get hit hard with the penalty and interest. Even though you tried to do the right thing, trusts and estates fall under this same rule and have to enroll using the entity's EIN. But like we covered a minute ago, if you're just an individual paying your own taxes, EFTPS is not the tool for you anymore. That's IRS Direct Pay. Now, finally, let's talk about where all of this is headed, because the IRS is making some real changes. The Treasury had stopped issuing most paper refund checks, and while paper checks and money orders are technically still accepted for now, with narrow exceptions for hardship, the writing is on the wall. Electronic is the expectation. This is even showing up inside the software I use every day. So if you run payroll through QuickBooks Online, as of July 1st this year, QuickBooks now automatically pays and files your federal payroll taxes for you. You can no longer manually submit them or opt out of their automation. That's actually good news if you set it up correctly, but it means your setup has to be right before that switch flips, or you could risk double paying or missing a deposit. On top of that, the IRS added new excise tax obligations this year, including 21 additional chemicals under the Superfund excise tax. So excise tax is not going to be something that's relevant for a lot of businesses, but if you do like sell a good or service that is subject to excise tax, it's important to at least be aware of that, and you can also make those payments via EFTPS if you need to. But the IRS doesn't waive the failure to pay penalty, which is the 0.5% per month up to 25% plus daily interest, just because you didn't know the rules changed. And so that's why it's ultimately very important for you to be aware of these changes in the migration away from all things paper and to all things electronic, essentially, because the potential for penalty is very, very high. And so I don't want you to have to pay those penalties. So the bottom line is, if you are an individual, get comfortable with IRS Direct Pay, or you can go to your IRS Online Account, which I would recommend pretty much anybody to set up their IRS Online Account. I was surprised that there were so many people that I've worked with in the past that did not have an IRS Online Account. The IRS Online Account is a great way to be able to log in and see any estimated payment deposits that you'd made previously, to see if you have any current outstanding balances. It's basically a great way to see a snapshot of your current IRS standing in terms of taxes. And so at this point, I'd strongly recommend going to the irs.gov account or irs.gov website and create an account so that you have that taken care of, because it can be pretty useful down the road, especially if you're dealing with estimated tax payments. Now, because EFTPS for individuals is on its way out, if you're running a business or paying anyone on payroll, EFTPS enrollment is not optional. So get that pen in hand well before your next deposit is due, just so you don't have any surprises. If you owe estimated taxes, mark those 4 dates on your calendar now, because the penalty runs whether you meant to pay late or not. There's not a lot of give there with the IRS. The IRS is moving everything electronic, and the entrepreneurs who get ahead of it now are the ones who won't be scrambling later. And if you want to go deeper on any of this stuff, please let me know. Go ahead and post something in the comments. I'm always happy to touch on different subjects. I'm going to cover a lot of the problems that I see on a daily basis through my accounting firm. But if you have other more specific problems that you'd like me to cover, please post in the comments. I'm always happy to touch on these subjects. All right, have a blessed day, and I'll leave you with this. God bless you and your family all the time.
You place something in my hands, more than silver, more than gold. A seed of faith, a gift of grace, a story still untold.
I could hide it in the ground, let fear decide my way,
but you are calling me to rise
and step into the day.
I don't wanna waste this life,
I don't wanna play it small.
You gave me breath, you gave me time, and I will give you all. I'll take what you gave me
and use it for your glory.
I'll build with open hands
and trust you with the story.
I won't bury what you planted,
I won't run from what I know.
faithful with the little,
watch the kingdom grow.
take my heart,
Take my hand,
take the life
I'm living.
I'll take what you gave me
and give it back to you.
and give it back to you.
Some are given fields to sow, some are given songs to sing,
Some are called to lead a home,
some are called to build a dream. But every gift comes from above, every calling has a cost.
and when I work with love and faith,
Nothing given you is lost. I don't need another sign, I don't need to know it all. If you have trusted me with this, then I will hear the call.
I'll take what you gave me,
And use it for your glory,
I'll build with open hands,
and trust you with the story.
I won't bury what you planted,
I won't run from what I know.
faithful with the little,
Watch the kingdom grow.
take my heart,
Take my hand,
take the life
I'm living. I'll take what you gave me.
and give it back to you.
When fear says hide it, faith says go. When doubt says keep it,
Grace says so.
when the road is narrow taxes through.
Well done, faithful servant.
I entrusted this to you.